I'm quite gratified that some of my subscribers have asked for a tutorial or a tab for the Bardic Spells, which is a series of songs that I wrote earlier this year with the idea of creating a literature for bards and Dungeons and Dragons. Back in the 20th century, when I was a dungeon master, we came up with the idea of Bardic Spells, and what would Bardic Spells do? Well, unlike the spells cast by, say, clerics or druids or magic users, the Bardic Spells influence people and animals. They influence behavior. So at the beginning of the spell, an enthrallment occurs where people will just listen to the spell. If the bard doesn't play it right, if he makes a mistake, the spell is broken and he'll probably get attacked. But if he does it right and ends it with the little tag to set the spell, then the spell will have an impact on the behavior of individuals and groups and even animals. So the first part of the Bardic Spell that I'm going to show to you is this tag, and the tag shows up at the end of every spell. And it's just simply a C chord, which is the open E string, the 5th fret on the A string, the 2nd fret on the D string, and the open G. Played like that, and ends with the 5th fret on the G string. And it goes at about this speed. So that's the idea of that, is that that's the tag that sets the spell. And the bard must must perform the song correctly and set the spell with that tag. And at that point, the spell will then affect the behavior of those around it. So, one spell, which I'm calling Bardic Spell number 2, just because that's the order that I came up with it in, is a spell called Trust Me. I'm just going to show you how to play this thing. It's A minor, E minor, F, E minor, F, G. So it'll play that same chord pattern. So the A minor on the mandolin, and I've said to guitarists, the easiest way to figure out chords on a mandolin is everything's upside down and backwards from a guitar. So for the A minor chord, there's the open E, 3rd fret on the A string, 2nd fret on the D string, 2nd fret on the G string. Now for an F chord, it's the 2nd fret on the G string, 3rd fret on the D string, 3rd fret on the A string, and mute the E string. Of course, you could add the 5th, and there are other ways to spell an F, but this is a convenient, comfortable way to do an F on a mandolin. And then the E minor, which looks exactly like an E minor on the guitar. The D and A strings are barred on the 2nd fret. The G and E strings are open. There's also the G chord, which is very much like the guitar, only backwards. It's the 3rd fret on the E string, 2nd fret on the A string with the D and the G open. So, Trust Me goes like this. Trust me, I would never lie to you. You can believe every word I say is true. My veracity, you can take as solid proof. Honestly, cast all doubt aside, I've never lied or even tried. A single word, is it all absurd? If you heard it from me, trust me. So the impact of this spell is to cause people to believe whatever the bard tells them, no matter what the truth may actually be, even if they're looking at it with their own 2 eyes at that very moment. They'll believe what the bard says in spite of all available evidence. Evidently, there are some politicians who have mastered this spell. So part of the Bardic Spells, Bardic Spell song, is a short instrumental to drive the melody home. So the instrumental on Trust Me is on the A string, open, 2, 3, open, and then it'll take it from the open A string to the same note, which is the 7th fret on the D string. So we have there's a hammer on from 7 to 9 and back, and then pull off back to 7, and then go down to the 5th fret on the E string, and it just does that 3 times. So let me slow that way down for you so you can pick that up. And then it's the same chord pattern, which is at the very first arpeggiated sforzando, then it's just played with long strums. And that's the Bardic Spell number 2, Trust Me. And of course you've got the little sting at the end, which is the C chord, ends with the 5th fret on the G, which is actually a C.